Good morning and welcome back to the channel. So today I have made my way over to Castleford, to a new site that I've not been to before. It is RSPB Fairburnings. Now I have been told a lot about this site, that I should make a visit over to here. Many times when I've been over at St Aidens, there's a few people spoken to me and said that they've also gone here as well as St Aidens site on a day in the same day. So today I thought, because it's going to be a nice weekend, that I would make my way over and come and check out the site. Now what I do like about this site is that you can come in early and park up and get onto the reserve dusk till dawn, with no problems whatsoever. It's just that the cafe and the toilets and everything don't open until about 10 o'clock, which is not a problem. And on this site there's a few hides on here as well, and a couple of different walks that you can do to various sides of the reserve. So I'm going to get my kit together now. I've come a bit light-handed. I've just brought the 400 with me, and instead of carrying the tripod because it gets a little bit heavy sometimes, I've just brought the monopod with the speedy gimbal today. So I thought I'd bring you along and come and have a look at RSPB Fairburnings with me, and let's see what we find. So I've decided to make my way down the green path, and I've just approached the first viewing point, and just down here in front of me, got like a few branches here where they put a load of bird feeders out. So we've got a lot of coal tits, goldfinch, blue tits, robins, and obviously a bit further out here you've got like a bit of a reed bed and a small body of water just in front of me, where you've got, at the moment, I've just got a moorhen. I think it looks like, yeah, it looks like a moorhen out there at the moment. But it's an area where you could just sit and wait and see what arrives in the reeds. I've already seen a cauldron fly over the top of us, and that's gone further away towards the car park at the moment. But it's a good area for sitting and just waiting to see what arrives in these long reed beds just in front of you. And at the moment, when it's only about 8:30, and the light is actually quite nice at the moment just on this area. Now, I've been talking to a couple of gentlemen that have told me there's some green woodpeckers on this site. Actually, there's quite a lot of things that is mentioned that's around the area, so hopefully I might see some of them. It'd be nice to get a green woodpecker. I've not seen one for a long time. Seen plenty of the spotted ones, but if I could get a green one today, that'd be really nice. But got a long way to go yet. Let's see what we find. So I think as this area is pretty quiet, other than the small feeders that are going on here, I think I'm going to move off. I'm going to see what there is further down on the reserve. So Fairburn is a little bit like St Aidens. It's all around the same sort of era when the coal mining was happening. It's this kind of area for coal back in the 1700s up until about the 1900s when it stopped. So Fire-burnings then become like a storage area for water for the Environmental Agency. Again, a little bit like St Aidens and Luton Meadow. That was the same over there as well. Because we've got a river that runs down the side of us. You won't see it at the moment, but just over this hill and down into the valley. We've got the river, and when that floods, then it helps to take some of the body of that water. But what a lovely morning for it. Lovely day. Plenty of reed beds going on there behind me. Not much activity on them at the moment. And again, it's still quite early. And again, we've got a wind, unfortunately. I know it's a lovely, gorgeous day, but it's definitely still got a nip with it. So I'm slowly making my way over to the Lindholme Hide, which is actually further than I thought it was. When you look at the map, everything only looks like it's quite small of an area. Once you start walking it, you'd be probably surprised how many miles you're actually going to get in walking around this place. So I want to go see what I can find there, and hopefully be able to get some photographs. Because up to now, I haven't actually taken one. I mean, I know I could have sat at the viewing point before and taken loads of grey tits and blue tits and goldfinches, but I just fancy trying to catch something a little bit different for a change. I have seen a bird of prey flying around, but I wasn't sure what it was because it was quite a distance, and we had the sun in the way, so it just looked like one big mass shadow, so I couldn't make out exactly what it was. But let's go and see what we can find at Lindholme Hide, because you never know. Might be some activity down there. Until I get there, stick with me. Let's go and see what we can find. Lindholme Hide. It's more of a viewing station with a cover over the top, which is quite nice. But unfortunately, I don't know if you can hear it through my mic, but it's quite windy here at the moment, and most of the birds have gone to the far end. There's a few swans just bobbing around on the lake here, and plenty obviously Canadian geese as well. There's a couple of pink-footed ones just on the left-hand side, but they're in the long grasses that are there. There was an egret that's just flown over, and that's gone into long grass. Can't really get a picture of it, it's a bit too far away. Even with a 560mm set up on my camera, it's still quite a distance. There was a bird of prey as I arrived, just went over the top of us. Unfortunately, because I'm in an area where it's covered by trees just behind me, I couldn't get a quick shot of that. It looked like it could have been a harrier. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. It was either a harrier or a red kite. But I'm going to head more towards a harrier with the kind of darker markings on the back tail, more than the red kite. So I'm hoping that might appear again while I'm waiting here for a bit longer. Actually, It is back, but it is very, very high up. I'm looking at it, the flash in the sun. I'm going to head more towards it's a red kite. That is very high up. But I've got plenty of time. It might appear somewhere where I can actually see it properly at some point before I finish today. We'll see on that. But I think looking at it at Lindholme at the moment, I think maybe early in the morning, maybe on a less windier day, the birds would be a little bit closer in. But at the moment, there's not a lot of activity on here. So I think what I might do is move off, make my way back in the direction that I've just come from. And I've got two options. I can either go up and go around the second body of water, or I can veer off and do the river walk. I'm in two minds which way to go. I think I'll make that decision when I get up there, because I've got to go back up and over the hill. So hopefully we'll have a little bit more success, I'm hoping. A little bit further on up. It would be nice if this wind just dropped, because it doesn't help matters whatsoever. So let's go and see what happens. Come along, let's go and see what else we can find at one of the other viewing points. So I just thought, while I'm on 5 minutes, because I've just made my way back up from the Lindholme Hide, and there's a little bit of an hill to come back up, which was a bit of a lung buster, to be honest. But if you go down them, you've got to come back up them, I guess. So I'll show you a little bit of an area where I am, because this literally is only a small percentage of the site. Let me turn you around. So I made my way down the path. Let me just try and get you. I made my way down the path. Well, I've gone this way, up here, and along that far edge there. Made my way all the way down. But as you can see how big just this small area actually is. I mean, that body of water is quite big. And the hide that I were at, you might make it out, it's about there, roughly. And it's a good mile's walk, at least, from where I am. We've got bitterns currently, seems to be booming down in this bit of an area here, where there's quite a lot of reed, you know, in this bit along here as well somewhere. But it is an area that you can't actually get to. This site obviously keeps you to your paths as much as possible, which is understandable. But up to now, other than a little bit of footage which I showed you from the Lindholme, which only had the Canadian geese on and a couple of swans, because there wasn't really much else because it was so far away. I haven't really taken any photographs other than a crow, which was alright, and I will pop that image up and show you it. So sometimes a lot of people think that you've got to go out and you make these videos and you've got to have footage and you've got to have images. Alright, yes, it does, it makes my videos quite good, you know, and it gets more informative. But sometimes you go out and you start making these videos, and I'm trying to do it at least once a week if I can, as much as possible. But sometimes you go out and you actually get nothing at all. Or again, just a crow. So sometimes it's actually just nice just to be out, enjoying the fresh air, slugging my heavy gear around with me. So let's see what happens, because you do struggle. So I've come down to another section of water that I walk around. I'll just give you a show of it. There we go. And this is more of a reed bed area that you can see here. Now there is booming. I have heard the bittern, but as you can see it's really thick, that reed bed. And as you can see over this area here, which is over this bank in here, there is another body of water on that side as well, and that again is quite thick on the reed bed. Now I have hung around for a bit, just in case, you know, it does make an appearance. But there's been no movement yet. I've only heard the booming twice while I've been stood here. I can hear chiff chaffs there in the forestry area just behind me, and some willow warblers. But I'll show you from that. I'll show you here. As you can see, we've got a fence in here, and all the noise is coming from that forestry area out there. So I haven't actually been able to personally see him yet. So I'm hoping when I walk a bit further around and make my way back towards the visitor centre area, I might be able to get a bit closer into that forestry area and hopefully see some. Because I decided to take the route around the reed beds and not down onto the river walk. I think I might have regretted it, but never mind. I could always cut off and maybe join it somewhere else further down and see if there is anything. But if I head back towards the visitor centre now, grab a quick drink, refresh. There's another section, you kind of go left and right from the visitor centre. There's another area where there's a few more viewing points that I'm going to go and check out, see what there is down there. And if not, then I might make my way onto the river edge, see what I can find. But up to now, considering it's a lovely morning, I feel like I'm having an unsuccessful one. I can hear things, I can certainly see birds of prey that are in the distance, but I haven't been able to catch anything on camera yet. Not impressed. Let's carry on walking anyway, see what we can get. So I didn't bother going back to the main RSPB area. I decided to carry on along the path and come down the opposite side because it splits into two. This area, if you go left, you come through like along the river edge and through like a nice load of trees, which is where I am now, or you get the other side which takes you down to Lindholme, which is about 2.5-3 mile walk. So I've resorted to just bobbing along this bit now. I've been into a couple of the hides that are on here. You had the Bob Dickens hide, which overlooks one of the big bodies of water just here over the top of me. And then as I went further down, there was the Valley Bay. Now I didn't go to the third one. I decided to resort to just hanging around along this wooded area because I have heard the woodpeckers earlier on when I walked through, but I didn't actually get a chance to spot it. But I have been watching while I stood here, and you might be able to hear it actually. There's a lovely fluffy chiff chaff that I've just been photographing, so I'll pop an image up of that and let you have a look at it. Further down from where I've just come from, seen the blackcap. It come down, well, it come out of the bramble, but it didn't stick around long enough to have a photograph taken. It were off. So there's a few of them bobbing around this area. So I've kind of resorted to just standing around and listening and waiting and see what arrives. Because there is still a lot of bird movement, a lot of bird sound going on. But I think due to this bit of wind that we've got still happening right now, even though it's nice and warm, the wind is just keeping a lot of the birds down in the brambles along here, which is a shame because it's got some really nice light with it today. So slowly going to make my way back towards the main area now where the car park is, just to see if I can hopefully try and spot these woodpeckers. But as the day is going on at the moment, I'm not going to guarantee that that's going to happen. But at least I managed to capture a couple of images of something rather than nothing at all like I originally thought I was going to do. But I guess that's the whole point of coming out. It's a new area, somewhere I've never been before. So even if you just call it a scouting exercise, this is what it's going to be, isn't it? So yeah, we'll see if we can capture something else before I go home. I've got a few hours yet that I can still play with. But as for the location, really nice. Plenty of walking, nice flat paths, a lot of hills. Definitely a lot of hills going on. But other than that, it's quite nice. It's lovely. It's just the wildlife is not showing up for me today. That's the only downside. So I'm hoping that we get something before I leave, other than the chiff chaff and the crow. So yeah, let's keep looking anyway, because a lot of the birds that are on the bodies of water seem to be at the far bankings, which is no good. It's alright if you've got your bins with you and you're only spotting, but for photographing they're just a bit too far away. So yeah, right, let's carry on looking. I'll pop that picture up of that chiff chaff and then you can have a look how fluffy it actually was. So I've come back to the car now. Everything seems to have gone really quiet everywhere, no matter where I went on the reserve. So I've decided that I'm going to pack my car up and head over to St Aidens just to see if there's any better activity over there at the moment. So I'm going to get all my gear in the car, and I think it's about 10-15 minutes drive from here. So let's go and see what we can find over there. Hopefully a little bit more than what I have had success at the moment here at Fairburn. You never know. Let's go and give it a try. Let's pack the gear up. So this video was not going to be published whatsoever. I did go to St Aidens and I spoke to the volunteer, should I say, not the rep, the volunteer, and he was like, yeah, the little owls come out, have a quick look. I had a quick look, and as usual, the little owl was back in the tree, which it seems to be exactly the same place as it is every time that I turn up, unfortunately. I've never had the luck of having it sat on the any of the oddball machinery. So I never bothered. I thought, right, let's go for a walk. So I went down to what I know as the crossroads, and I parked myself there, and I thought, something, just let nature come to me. That's probably the best way to enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And I sat and waited, and I could see the glebes coming over, and I could also see swans starting to make their way into the area where I was. And it's an area where normally you get the kingfisher as well, and it had been spotted apparently. Not long prior to me to arriving. But then I had a problem. I had a family that arrived, came from nowhere, and I have nothing against families on reserves whatsoever, so please do not take this as any way whatsoever. But this family turned up and they had a youngster that was screaming and shouting, and I mean tantrum screaming and shouting, and they decided to come and sit next to me. Well, as you can imagine, the glebes did a U-turn, the swans never arrived, and neither did the kingfisher. So I come to a point where my day had felt like it had gone from great at the beginning to slowly disastrous by the end of it. So I did no recordings whatsoever from St Aidens, and I was at a point where I was just going to come home and completely delete this video, until a colleague spoke to me at work and said, how did your weekend go? To the words of disastrous. Bear with me, the vehicle just gone past. So they said I should release the video still. I should release the video to you guys just to show a point that wildlife photography never goes right every time. And videos never go right every time either. So here I am, a couple of days later, finishing off the end of my video to just show facts that it might have been a nice day, it might have been windy, which it was extremely windy, but nothing wanted to show its face whatsoever. So there you go. This is to the end of the video. And like I say, to every new photographer out there, don't think that every time you're going to go out, you're going to get that perfect video or that perfect photograph. Because it never happens. Honestly, it doesn't. And I think this is just a proof of it from this video. So, I am finishing my video off from my local area. And I hope you do give it a thumbs up. Just for the sheer fact of it. That'd be quite nice. But please also do subscribe and follow my video and my channel, because I do have amazing days. This has just been one disastrous time, that's all. And fingers crossed, it's going to be the last. So give me a subscribe. Please do. Just be a bit pitiful on me this time. So yeah. So, from what was a wonderful Fairburnings to the disastrous RSPB St Aidens, I'm going to finish this video and say thank you for watching, and I'll see you on my next adventure.